Hello, students. Today we are going to study history, chapter number 1, that is why history. Why we need to study history. And what is history? So, history may be defined as a careful, systematic record of the past events, such as record of the royal dynasties and the new way of life of the common people arranged in a chronological way. See, we can understand by taking an example. Take the example of your family album. It has photographs of your ancestors, some past events such as birthday parties, marriage ceremonies of your elder brother, etc. Arranged in such a way that the events happen first are pasted in the beginning, followed by the ones that happened later. Your album photographs gives you information about the dress, culture, and tradition of your family. Thus, the album actually displays your family history. Now, we will talk about the sources of history. So, history has been in the way of sources divided into two parts: archaeological sources and literary sources. Archaeological source material is generally discovered through survey and excavations, while literary sources are the oral and written records of humans who lived thousands of years ago. Now we will discuss about some archaeological sources. Number one is artifacts. Artifacts are the man-made objects such as pottery, jewelry, seals, tools, which tells us about the past history. Now we will talk about coins. Coins throw light on the ancient times. The languages engraved on them reveals the exact period to which they belonged. Coins also help us in exchange of goods and services. Next is monuments. So monuments are the historical structures which tells us about the life and times of the people of an era gone. For example, if we talk about Taj Mahal, so it is very important to know about the past history of Taj Mahal. Like the Mughal architecture was used along with an expensive white marbles to build it. Next is burial sites. Burial sites are the sites which are used for burying the dead people. It also tells us about the past history. Next archaeological source was inscriptions and edicts. The writing engraved on stones, rocks, pillars, metals, clay tablets, etc. are called inscriptions, while the engraving of royal messages are called edicts. Many kings got records engraved which not only tells us about the kings on or their kingdoms but also about their religious beliefs, their military conquests and their likes. Now we will discuss about the literary sources. As earlier stated, literary sources are the oral and written records of humans who lived thousands of years ago. Now, literary sources is being further divided into two parts. First is religious literatures and second is secular literatures. First is religious literature, which was related to religion or mythology such as Vedas, including the epics such as Ramayana and Mahabharata, along with Buddhist literature and Jain literature. Next is secular literature, which is not connected with any religion or faith. One may say that this form of literature is created by the people and for the people. Secular literature is basically derived to know about the biographies, plays, stories, travel accounts of the past kings. Now we will talk about the division of time in history. In history, the date and time is being classified in two parts, that is, before the birth of Jesus Christ and after. For example, the dates being written as BC, that is before Christ or before Common Era, and next is CE, that is Christ Era or Common Era. Now we will talk about how the geography and history of India is being interconnected, that is geographical framework. Let us understand, students, when we talk about the neighboring countries, it denotes the geography of India. And when we build a friendly relation with our neighboring countries, it denotes the history. Thank you, students. Hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Have a good day, everyone.